Hey guys, another day of market moves, and Evolving Skies is probably the most exciting one on the list. There's one other one that's pretty exciting, but Evolving Skies, it's moving up from about $1,400 to 80, 1485. It's about $85 increase. I looked at confirmed sales, and there weren't any confirmed sales, so that's just the lowest listing price. But there was someone who bought at 1400. It's been around 14. I mean, a little less than 1400, like maybe like $10 to $25 less. But yeah, this is the first day I've seen in how many days So Evolving Skies is here. It's been about 1400 listed for the last since the 7th, so that's about a week. And before that, it was about 1300, 1350 to 1250. About a week of stagnant prices. People were still buying though. I'll just show you the listed prices or the sold data. So yeah, people were buying each day, more or less. But we're starting to see it move. That's good. Even though there's only a few sales per day, it's still a good sign. Other sets get like 0 sales a day sometimes. Alright, next one. This is just a minor one, but Battle Styles is moving a little bit. You can still get on Pokemon Center, so it's not a big deal. But Battle Styles, I didn't mention it yesterday, but it is moving up to some extent. Like it was 151, 152, now it's like 155. It's just kind of slow and steady, and demand is just sort of increasing a little bit. Okay, now this is pretty exciting. So I'm starting to finally see moves in Scarlet and Violet, but specifically when I look at the data, it seems like it's the first 4 sets. So Scarlet Violet, Paldea, Obsidian, and Paradox, they're making the moves in not all the same way. So price wise, Paldea and Obsidian I think are making the price moves, but I think the biggest one's Obsidian, which this kind of follows the kind of normal pattern. The first 4 of Scarlet Violet there's something, I guess, quote unquote special about them, in the sense that people don't really expect more reprints, and they're all already sold out in booster boxes on Pokemon Center. And so they just seem like safer investments. They're not necessarily going to give you the most return on your money. But compared to the other booster boxes, like, do I think that SV base, Paldea, Obsidian, and Paradox will get a reprint versus Temporal, Surging, Twilight, Stellar? I went out of order. But yeah, some of these are very recently released, and people expect a reprint at some point. So that'll affect prices. So Obsidian, it went to, let's see, $170, so it's up $5, and it's been kind of 150, like 160, 165 for the last, well, ever since I started tracking it on the 5th, it was 160. Let's look at confirmed sales, and yeah, there are people buying at the 170 price, so 169.50. A bunch of these happened very recently, and there was some yesterday, and like before that there were occasionally like one, but yeah, it just recently reached pretty much the 160s, I mean the 170s. So Obsidian, it's the set that just based on the patterns, it just seems to keep doing well. People like it, or people are buying it. Paldea was always sort of a high riser, so it gets more resistance of moving up, but it just moved up a few dollars. But I've been trying to look at the demand. Like, demand has increased just slightly. These numbers were like 40 every 3 days, and now it's like 50 or 60. I look at confirmed sales, and yeah, there's some people who bought at the 205 price. And so yeah, we have some confirmed sales, so that's good. And if I look down at the listings, yeah, there's someone with not much sales, but after that it's like 232. So, you know, we're getting to the point where we might see like a good jump. Okay, so Scarlet Violet base and Paradox, they're more about, I think, the same price. I'll just, yeah. But I see that the supply, I don't know, the listings and the quantities available in the amount being bought is looking nicer. Like, I was looking at the listings over the past few days, and like it's finally starting to kind of jump a little bit, like, or potentially get more jump. Like, if people buy like the next few boxes, then you get to the 147s and 149s. So of course people can still list because people want to sell, but there are some signs that it's gaining like a little more strength. But we'll see if it can keep up the momentum. I told you guys before that it suddenly sold out most of its product at Pokemon Center. There's only a little bit left, and people haven't been buying it really. But yeah, it's once you get to the sold out stage, it kind of makes a difference. Like sold out pretty much completely. And Paradox Rifts, I see this like sudden price demand over here for 49 items, so it's a little more obvious in terms of quantity. If I look at the like, there's someone trying to sell a lot over here for 145, so that'll add resistance. But yeah, this quantity thing looks more promising. Like Paradox was pretty overprinted, so I feel like once it finally gets its rise, it'll be really nice. But yeah, it gets more resistance because it was just very overprinted. Okay, and then Crown Zenith. I think Crown Zenith, the pricing was about the same, so there's not much news on that. Like the prices are pretty much more or less exactly the same. I think the quantities are starting to shift, so packs are still heavily sought after, but the demand is like slightly going down, but that's still 700 packs every few days versus 1,000. Sea and Sky is starting to see a decrease in demand, and I think, I don't know, it's about the same price as, I guess it's about the same price as the packs. So at this point, at these higher prices, because I mentioned this other day, there's been this seller that's had this $80 one that people have been buying for, but after that it's reached pretty much like 96. And to look at confirmed sales, like people have been buying at like some 96 sometimes, but like price per pack wise, it's still kind of cheaper to buy loose packs. So I think that until the pack price increases, the Sea and Skies are kind of stuck, because people don't really want Sea and Skies for the sake of Sea and Skies, more or less, because they don't really want to store. People aren't going to be necessarily wanting Sea and Sky in the future as much compared to the other sealed products. So there's just resistance at this price right now. But sellers aren't really willing to sell for much less than that. So that's kind of a good sign. But yeah, we're seeing this like lower amount being bought because of that. Before it was being bought just because it was kind of the cheapest. I think ETBs went up like a little bit, like a few dollars, like $2. But yeah, ETBs are still the most sought after price per pack. They're also kind of expensive price per pack, but like they're $1 or more than the booster bundles, which would be like, I consider the booster bundle and the ETB to be the most like, if you want to hold long term, I would probably want those two items, like one of those two, or maybe there's another specialty item. But yeah, there's still quite a bit of demand. But what I did notice was the booster bundles are starting to increase in demand. So I think we're starting to shift from, like, even though it's $2 more per pack, I feel like it's a little more investable in this way. So I think we'll see how that works. But yeah, booster bundles are starting to gain popularity. I mean, they're starting to gain more demand, and they're pretty popular products. They're pretty easy to store. Like, storing a box, like a ton of Sea and Skies, take a ton of space. But booster bundles, you could get like 30 in like a not too big box, and you could just hold that like for 10 years. So it's just really nice to just have around. Plus people just like booster bundles. Okay, so 151. The main movement was, I think, the UPC. The UPC has been kind of interesting because ever since I've been tracking it, it's been kind of going up just like a little bit, like each day. Like this is the 10th, it was 260, 12th is 270, now it's 280. Everything else is kind of about the same. The poster collection went up a little bit because I think it's the cheapest price per pack. Blooming Waters, I am seeing more announcements of it coming out, so I do expect prices to go down. But yeah, UPC is not too surprising. It's one of the most sought after items for 151 because it has the cards. It's not really made anymore. But yeah, nothing super exciting there. But yeah, the UPCs are going up. Everything else was becoming more stagnant. Prismatic, the prices are about the same. Where's my Prismatic? Yeah. So Prismatic, the main thing to note is that yes, demand is still high. So we're coming up right at release about, and people are still buying a ton of these ETBs at $150. The price is kind of stabilized. And when I look at what's being bought, yeah, people are pretty much buying at the 150 price. Maybe it's the 151s. 151. So I think it'll definitely increase. there will be fluctuations with it because there will be ETB drops, and then scalpers will get them, and then price drops a little bit, and it'll go back up and down and up and down. But the demand is so high that yeah, there'll just be like some up and downs or some stagnations. But yeah, it's at 150 right now. Some of the other items, I know it's a Sylveon tin. I have it here. Like, it's not a lot at 12, but the demand is going up for it. No one's really been buying above the $33 price, but if that ever breaks, I'm really just curious to see when that happens. But the demand is going up. There's only 19 listed. PCETB, people are still buying it. 14, there's a 14 sale and some 400 sales. It's still around $400 basically. And the poster collection, it's technically gone down, but it's mostly because there's a few sellers. There's like 14 available at the lower price. After that, it's kind of the normal price. But yeah, right now it's technically at 13 something dollars, so it's pretty cheap right now if people want to pick that up. And yeah, the other things are pretty much the same. But yeah, price per pack wise, yeah, those poster collections, because of that discount, it goes from like $15 to $13, but the pouch is still kind of the same. And yeah, price per pack, like the loose pack prices are still insane to me because they're just more expensive than the other items. So I don't know, I think people maybe aren't doing the math or whatever, or some people just don't like these 3-pack things. That's just kind of how it is. But even the bundles are cheaper, but the bundles release a little later. Okay, last thing, journeys together. I didn't really see much difference. I don't really expect much until like later to change. But yeah, the prices of PCTBs are still around 200. Booster boxes are still around 230, 240. I guess there's some 250 sales, so I guess it went up a little bit. I don't really see cases that often, but I did see one case I think like yesterday for 1650. And normally TBs are about like 100. I guess I do see stuff like 115, so that did go up a little bit. Alright, anyway, thanks guys, bye.